usually happens in silence, not during a storm of applause, but somewhere between two breaths. That quiet realization that you've been living below your potential. You wake up, same room, same phone, same thoughts, and yet something inside you starts whispering, there's more than this. It's not jealousy, it's not greed, it's hunger. A sacred restlessness that doesn't let you stay still anymore. You look at people who seem to move through life like they were born with another kind of fire. The ones who win when everyone else hesitates. The ones who make impossible things seem inevitable, and you wonder, what do they have that I don't? You replay your life, the decisions you didn't make, the moments you gave up too early, the dreams you postponed because fear disguised itself as logic, and suddenly it's clear. You've been living as a spectator in your own story, but not anymore. There comes a morning when you decide to stop being impressed by other people's success and start being obsessed with your own growth. That's the fracture moment, the mental rebellion, the day you stop asking, how do I fit in? And start asking, how far can I go? This is where everything begins. Not with motivation, but with a decision to train your brain until you outperform everyone. Not out of arrogance, but because excellence has become your nature. Most people never get there. They confuse wanting with working, and they think effort automatically equals evolution. They wake up, scroll, rush, complain, promise themselves change, and then repeat. Same habits, same mindset, same results. It's not that they're lazy. It's that they're untrained. Their mind is like a wild horse, powerful, but undirected. They react to impulses, emotions, distractions, and call it life. We all start there. We all believe that success is about talent, or luck, or the right opportunity. But the truth is far more subtle and far more brutal. You can't outperform the limits of your own thinking. If your brain hasn't been trained to handle pressure, discipline, boredom, or rejection, it will break the moment the game gets real. Think about how you were conditioned. Society rewards quick dopamine, not long. Term mastery. We're taught to seek comfort instead of challenge, validation instead of growth. So your brain, naturally, adapts to survive mediocrity. It learns how to protect you from pain, not how to lead you toward greatness. And yet, every time you see someone rise above the noise, you feel something awaken, because deep down, you know you have the same machinery, the same neurons, the same potential, but potential means nothing if your mind is wired for hesitation. We say things like, I'll start when I feel ready, but readiness is a myth. The brain doesn't evolve through comfort. It evolves through challenge, repetition, and friction, and that's why most people lose. They treat their mind like a mirror of their feelings, not the commander of their actions. But what if outperforming everyone isn't about working harder? It's about thinking differently. What if the real race isn't outside? It's inside your head. You've been trying to change your results without changing your mental code, and that's like trying to fly a plane with the brakes on. The secret of elite performers, from athletes to innovators, isn't motivation, it's mental conditioning. They've trained their brain to interpret pain as feedback, pressure as opportunity, and failure as data. They don't avoid discomfort. They court it because they understand something simple, but life-changing. Your brain is programmable. Every thought you repeat becomes a pattern. Every pattern becomes a pathway, and every pathway becomes a behavior. Automatic, unconscious, unstoppable. When you train your brain, you don't just change how you think, you change what's possible. This is where transformation begins. Not in effort, but in awareness. Let's go deeper. Let's build the mind that can't be broken, distracted, or defeated. Lesson 1. Soften. Control. The inner dialogue. Every outcome starts with a thought. Every empire, invention, or victory, all of it began in the invisible world of imagination and conviction. So ask yourself, What does your inner voice sound like? Because if your self-talk is weak, your performance will be too. Most people's internal dialogue is a loop of doubt. I can't. I'm tired. It's too much. They think it's harmless, but it's the most destructive addiction there is. The addiction to limitation. Elite performers know how to rewrite that code. When Michael Jordan missed 26 games, winning shots, he didn't say, "I failed," he said, "Next one's mine." That's not ego. That's programming. Your brain believes whatever you repeat. So repeat. Power. Repeat. Clarity. Repeat. Precision. Feed your subconscious with commands, not complaints. It will obey either way. So choose your words like a general before battle. Lesson 205. Build neural discipline. The brain loves shortcuts. It will always choose the easiest route, unless you train it to crave challenge. Every time you push past resistance, wake up early, focus longer, stay calm under stress, you literally rewire your brain. This is neuroplasticity in motion. The more you practice self-control, the thicker the neural pathways become. Discipline, then, isn't personality. It's circuitry. Think of Kobe Bryant. The man was already a legend. Yet, he would still wake up at 4 a.m. to practice alone in an empty gym. Not because he needed more skill, but because he was feeding a neural identity. I am the one who never stops improving. Your habits are the architecture of your mind. Every action is a brick, every repetition a wall, and one day that structure becomes a fortress. No distraction can invade. Lesson 3 define. Transmute emotion into energy. Most people let emotions drain them. Anger, fear, envy. They get trapped in it, but the high performer knows emotion is energy, and energy can be directed. When Serena Williams feels pressure, she channels it into precision. When Elon Musk feels fear, he channels it into innovation. They've trained their nervous system to convert chaos into focus. You can, too. When you feel doubt, don't suppress it. Breathe and redirect it. Say to yourself, this is energy. Let's use it. Transform the nervous tremor into creative voltage. Soon your brain learns that stress isn't danger, it's fuel. Lesson 4. Sai. The 1% rule. The most powerful transformation doesn't happen in explosions. It happens in increments. 1%. Every day. The brain doesn't leap. It layers, and mastery is nothing but compounded adaptation. The mind trained daily, with intention and feedback, becomes unstoppable because eventually your brain stops fighting you. It starts helping you. You become addicted to progress, not perfection. And that addiction, that hunger for evolution, is what separates the few from the many. Think of the innovators, the visionaries, the quiet warriors of excellence. They're not superhuman. They're just consistent in ways most people aren't. They've learned to build systems instead of relying on motivation, to train, focus, instead of chasing excitement, and to fall in love with boredom. Because that's where the brain rewires itself. You see, training your brain isn't glamorous. It's not about hype, or quotes, or morning routines. It's about staying committed when no one's watching, about doing the thing again, and again, and again, and again, until it becomes who you are. But there will be days when everything in you will want to stop. Days when your mind feels heavy, fogged, uninspired, when every discipline feels like punishment, when progress feels invisible. This is the storm, the phase that breaks the untrained. The mind starts whispering, why bother? Nobody cares. You'll never catch up. And if you listen, even for a second, you'll start to shrink. But remember this, growth doesn't announce itself. The brain rewires in silence. Just because you don't see results doesn't mean your work is wasted. Every repetition, Every failure, every moment of resistance is shaping neural armor. Close your eyes. Breathe. Imagine your future self watching you right now. The version of you who refused to quit, who pushed through this exact moment. That version is real. They're waiting for you, on the other side of this pain. So, keep going. Train your brain to move. When your feelings say stop, that's how you outperform everyone. Not because you never fall, but because you never stay down. And one day, you'll feel it, not as a shout, but as a stillness, a calm confidence that doesn't need to prove anything anymore. Your brain, once chaotic, will move with surgical precision. Your focus will feel effortless. Your thoughts clean. You'll realize that the game was never about beating others. It was about mastering the only player that ever mattered, your mind. You'll start to see how rare that is. To meet someone who's not reactive, not distracted, not enslaved by their impulses. Someone who has trained their brain to be still when the world screams. That's real power. You'll walk differently, speak differently. You won't chase validation. You'll radiate clarity. People will call it luck, or talent, or even arrogance. But you'll know the truth. You just did the work no one else was willing to do. And the irony, when you finally reach that place, you stop needing to outperform anyone, because the brain you've built doesn't compete. It creates. It turns vision into structure. It turns pain into momentum. It turns life into art. That's what mastery feels like. Silent, precise, infinite. So when the noise gets loud, remember this: you are not your thoughts. You are the one training them, and a trained mind can't be stopped, because once you've programmed your brain for greatness, the rest of the world is just catching up.